No, but this is good. This is good conversation. Radio5.com. Yours truly, Diamond K, in here. You need to come over here. Okay. We in the building. We having a major hip hop discussion. That was different though. Because these brothers have intelligence. Mainism is also in the building. So we got special guests in the building. Why don't y'all go ahead and introduce yourselves?
Peace, y'all. My name is Greenspan, Mr. Mid-Atlantic, Baltimore to be exact. Thank you for having me, Diamond K.
Absolutely.
What's going on, y'all? I'm 4TAE, Mr. Cool Blue, Mr. Blue. And, I appreciate you having me a part of this situation.
All right, so you're not going to say anything? You just want to be able to sit there and be quiet?
Mainism in the building.
Impossible. I'll have his mic ready just in case he wants to come over there. You ain't got to be on camera. You ain't got to be on camera.
If nobody else tell you, I appreciate your Instagram posts.
So what?
Most of them, but
yeah. So he. So
you know what I mean.
So yeah. So Maine is a hip hop culture. What? You just hip hop culture. He's heavy in the hip hop culture. And so we were talking about I guess the disconnect between younger generation of hip hop culture and just the disconnect between generations, older and younger, right? And we're trying to figure out where that comes from. And Greenspan, you were bringing up some good points. I guess let's catch people up. Where does the disconnect come from between the younger generation and the older generation?
Yeah. So my initial thoughts is just on the tip of just this dismissive nature or dismissive mindset. One thing I brought up was like when Pete Rock had some words and against like a Yachty and Lil Uzi Vert and shit like that, and vice versa. It's just like, if neither side attempts to even understand what that is, if the young generation don't care what came before them, that's dismissive and that's unhealthy for the culture. And the older generation, they just dismissive, like, that shit mumble rap, that shit trash. It's like, nah, but it's like, just try to understand a little bit, or try to understand where that started or whatever. And you could agree to disagree, but just being dismissive of what a man is doing to feed his family and all that is a little bit unhealthy, in my opinion.
A little disrespectful.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, let's say that you've been on as a rapper, and then now some other cats are coming up. And you feel that these guys and gals are less talented than you, but now they getting the shine and you not getting the shine. So now you become bitter. You know what I mean? And I think that that's the place where a lot of rappers, say from the '90s, are. Like, they still make records. They're not on major labels anymore. They didn't really learn the internet like that. And they don't have a way to communicate with their base, but they see somebody like, say, Yachty, who, even though the album didn't fly off the digital shelves, he still has a good fan base, and he still has songs that the kids like. And I think long term the album is going to do well. It just didn't fly off the shelves, digital shelves. So they may be bitter. You know what I mean? I'm not saying like I hate to use this person because I really like this guy, but let's say like a Redman or Keith Murray or Raekwon, somebody where they had success in the '90s, but now I think that some of these younger kids are more successful than them right now. So they might be bitter, and they might say he's whack because he ain't got no skills like me.
Okay. So I think off top, I mean, when you get to the bitter part, that's the problem. If you dig it, like, musicians or any music creators before hip hop was popping, sure they had something to say.
Sure.
I know older cats that some passed away now, but like, for instance, Baltimore, real quick, Left Bank Jazz Society started in Baltimore, dates back to 1964. Yeah. And I know a brother that was the treasurer with Left Bank that would talk about particular guys. Oh, he can't play. Just better. The young guys coming up trying to play, and it's like, you're not even trying to understand or allow us to experience his growth as he grows as a musician, right?
Right.
So on the tip of somebody figuring something out and getting to their clientele quicker than you did, it's like, what's the point of being bitter? It's just like, yo, congratulate that young man. It's like, yo, every generation, especially now, every year, the digital age, they're gonna figure some shit out that we didn't. You feel what I'm saying? Or that you didn't in the past.
True.
So I don't know, just hating on another man's success is already whack. You know what I mean? So
super whack. And also, I think
get jealous. That's a female trait.
Yeah.
Man, because you sell dimes and he sell weight. Like, come on, like that's about you. That's about your personal growth. So get your shit together. That's it.
Yeah, and it's also about kind of relatability. If you're 22 and you're talking to 22-year-olds and 18-year-olds and 16-year-olds, you're gonna come across the same issues. And if you're 45 rapping, and I mean, no disrespect to anybody that's 45 rapping, you're gonna relate to more of the people you're, you know, you're not gonna be as big. Well, you can be, but it's the relatability factor too. Like, and if you're on the internet, you're able to talk to thousands of people, millions of people at a time, opposed to you don't really do email and Instagram and all that kind of stuff. You're not going to be as accessible to these people. So it's just a different market for each person. So your market is your market. Your fans are your fans. You can't be upset because you didn't get as many fans as this young man or whatever.
And the narrative has been created over time that, aside from rap being a young man's game, it's like, all right, a young man, what does that mean? It's, you know what I mean, arguably 40 years old is a young man, but, you know, a younger rapper can be like, ew, you rapping that, you know what I mean? Like, isn't this like, yo, but it's, and then the competitive nature of hip-hop. It's a whole bunch of stuff about hip-hop that doesn't exist
anymore
in other forms of music.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And it's always
like what? Like let's
competition, the competitive nature. I mean, that's not, it's not necessarily unhealthy because battle rap and all that, like, we know, whatever. But it's like, off top, whatever you do, you're gonna be compared to somebody else. You know what I mean? And the competition is just gonna be thrown at you whether you're looking to compete or not. You know what I mean?
Right.
A whole bunch of shit. You know what I mean? You know, that just doesn't exist in other art forms. It's just in hip-hop.
Is that good or bad?
It can be unhealthy, and it can be a good competitive nature.
So let's talk. Let's dissect some of these things. I think one big thing is writing.
Okay.
In other cultures, in R&B, do we know if the Rolling Stones wrote their songs? I would say probably they didn't, right? But in hip hop, if we find out that Quentin Miller wrote a couple songs that Drake spit, it's a fucking problem. Why is that? Why do you have to write your songs?
Well, I think that's because of where it started. Like, it was about you and your lyrics.
Well, if you go back to that, it's like Rapper's Delight. What's his name?
They ain't right now.
Ain't right there.
Right now.
Correct.
Yeah.
Who that? What's his name? Not Grand Wizard Theodore. Grandmaster Cass. Is it Grandmaster?
Flash.
Not Grandmaster Flash. He ain't right. No,
Who?
I think
Who we talking about?
It was Cass. Grandmaster Cass wrote them lyrics.
Cass.
You feel what I'm saying?
C-A-Z.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, Cass. Yeah. So, if you're talking about that, I think I would imagine it's because like the personal nature of the lyrics you're talking about. So if you go back to the stuff that, for instance, if Quentin Miller wrote for Drake, I don't know exactly which songs, or whatever, but it's like, yo, if niggas spitting a personal story,
Supposedly the Rico verse.
Drake not saying he an MC. Drake is.
But I mean,
that's why you should have been on the mic, man. Isn't it?
yeah.
See?
So and you still can. It's not like it's too late. There's a chair right there. You can sit right there by the green screen.
That's
We need
the
you on
only
this
thing,
panel,
though.
my G.
If you telling like a personal story, whatever, like that, but it was like, no, your man like wrote all that. I can, you know, understand how that can be argued or whatever.
Why?
Personally, I don't care. Because if it's a personal story, if you talking about, you feel me, bagging up ready on a whoop, 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 and I had bitch leaning or whatever, and they came right up in the shit and took my whole pack, I had to bounce back. But it's like, I didn't write any of that. It's like, did you experience that though? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So, it's just,
I mean, but even if you did, let's just say,
I don't care.
But so, let's say
think it's cool.
Let's look at like Luther Vandross, right? Let's say that the songs that he was singing, let's say that Luther was never in love, right? Let's say we found out he was never really in love, right? Does that mean we gonna enjoy the song less because he personally wasn't in love? It's not about him. It's about you enjoying it. To me,
enjoying it, the story, like, and making the best song, you know, connecting and all that stuff. So I really appreciate that part about it. I don't think people should get as upset about somebody else writing your bars for you. If this person delivers it better than whoever's trying to be a rapper and a writer, and they just don't got no delivery, I feel like it's a lot that goes into that. You can't. I mean, well, I'm not a rapper, so I mean, my opinion doesn't really count that much. But
Jay-Z wrote the whole Still Dre.
right? That's true.
He wrote Snoop and Dre's thoughts. He wrote the whole song, I think. The entire
I know he wrote Dre's parts.
No, no. Snoop confirmed.
He wrote the whole thing. Okay.
Whole shit.
And the thing is to me, if you go back, LL wrote some things for MC Lyte. LL wrote some things for Run DMC. I don't think that takes away from them at all. Some people are just really, really good writers. I think Nas is a really, really good writer.
Oh, yeah.
Did any of y'all see the Get Down? Nas wrote, all those, rhymes that they were spitting and all that kind of stuff. And some people just got that, that talent. So does Kanye write everything that he spits? No. I would probably say no.
No, he doesn't.
In the beginning, College Dropout, I think he wrote all that stuff.
What? Like Rhymefest was writing for him at a point, and what's the name? What's the boy name that goes in? I am so outrageous. The nigga that was on that fucking
the one that was in Tribe Called Quest?
No. Oh, I wasn't talking about him. I might have been writing for the nigga, but the
I
nigga
think he was saying that
he spits now. The nigga I don't know. He went with him. Man.
Who we talking?
Side of Prince.
Oh yeah. Okay, so is that bad?
Nah,
yeah, I don't care.
I don't think so.
Yeah, so why don't we look at the rapper like a singer? So like Beyonce doesn't write all her own songs. You know what I mean? And I don't see Ashanti calling her out for saying, yo, you fake, you ain't write your own shit. Like
it's the competitive nature.
Yeah, the competitive
That's
nature.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It ain't no such thing as battle R&B. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, yo, get these niggas in a circle where they gonna sing at each other. You feel what I'm saying?
Maybe in church. Maybe in church.
Good point. So is that good or bad though?
Singing is cool.
I just think that we don't get as much quality music that we could get because of that bar right there. Because sometimes people that write may not be the best reciters, but people can have a really good voice and good delivery, but can't write. And I think that our quest for authenticity hurts us in the long run. Because I'm sure that Master P, who I love, writes all his own shit. Even though he doesn't write, but he freestyles. But you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So exactly, right? But
Shots. P a legend.
He is a legend, and I love Master P.
The views of Diamond K are not the views of Patrick 4TAE.
Birdman does not write his own stuff.
On that tip, real quick, you know what made me not that my opinion matters at all, but what made me appreciate Ray Shremmerd more. Like at first I was like, whatever, but then when Sway came out, I'm like, this shit jamming. I thought about it. I thought about how much I love Big Timers, and I'm like, yo, these niggas 2017 Big Timers as far as I'm concerned.
I look at them as 2017 crisscross with their clothes on straight.
I can dig how they look, but I think as far as the melody, the music,
the singing song and stuff.
It remind me of Big Timers. I'm like, I can't hate these niggas.
I like Big Timers. Yeah, I like Big Timers.
Big Timers, Fresh is a legend.
Oh yeah.
Fuck that.
Is what you say, if you repeat something over and over again, people just believe that. Like if you say something in your songs over and over again, like Rick Ross says he's a boss over and over again, so people just believe he's the boss. Just Lil Wayne said he was the best. Is Lil Wayne as good as he thinks he is?
Well, the whole point on that tip, it's like first, you gotta believe it. So
Sure.
you know what I mean.
Sure.
So it's self-awareness. You know what I mean. You can't be yourself until you know yourself. Everything goes back to self-awareness, in my opinion. So if that's what you got to do to make yourself believe it, then fuck it. Everybody gonna follow suit because it's like if I sold myself, then I can sell everybody else on it. So not that Rick Ross wasn't the boss when he first started saying it. You know what I mean. But if he ended up speaking that into existence and made you believe it, then whatever. There ain't nothing wrong with it.
So what about Wayne?
What, being the best? That's his opinion.
Yeah, but
Everything is a matter
so
of
everything
opinion.
is opinion.
But Lil Wayne, like,
He's nice.
absolutely, no question.
That's political.
In my opinion, I think every rapper should think they're the best though. Like, but that's just in my opinion. Like, they should
Yeah,
have
but I
that
mean,
in their
thinking
thing.
it, and if we actually compile the list, it's two different things.
I feel like you should think it, you should say it, and if you should be able to, if somebody wants to battle you,
You should be able to defend yourself.
Yeah. I mean, not even like like freestyle and stuff like that, but I mean, you should be able to have some stuff in your arsenal where you can have a serious situation with another rapper.
Everybody's top five will
Always be
won't
different,
line up.
man.
I mean, there may be some overlap. You feel what I'm saying? But everybody's top five is different.
We had an interesting discussion earlier this week, and I'm glad that y'all are here so I can run this past y'all. So I said that black and Latino people are quick to give the culture away to other people. So I said that if Eminem was black, people would not say he's as nice as they think that he is. I think that he's a white boy and he raps and he's good, but I think that they give him more credit than they would if he wasn't white. Like, he gets radio play on pop stations that he wouldn't get, obviously, if he was white. But I think we're just so quick to be like, oh, yo, he's nice. And I just think he's okay. I mean, I think he's good. But I just think like a John B. or Justin Timberlake or Bieber or any of these white boys that do hip-hop culture, R&B, that's still hip-hop to me. We just quick to embrace, and we don't do the same thing for each other for a person with the same level of talent. Am I crazy?
No, I kind of agree. I kind of disagree. I do give Eminem his props. He is one on my top 5 list.
Why?
I listen to every single album. He's
Can
dope.
you quote? Can you quote? Okay, so I just have a major problem with that. But a lot of people say that. If we look at his subject matter, he ain't talking about shit. Okay, he's a drug addict. Yeah. Literally and figuratively.
Yeah.
He talks about killing his mother, okay, and the baby mother. Mm-hmm. The subject matter, he ain't talking about shit. But if a black person was talking about killing his mother, people talk about Future in his drug talk. You know, I mean, if a black person was talking the way he talks about his mother, the kid's mother, and all that, we would be going crazy.
I think we're talking about more than just. I think we're talking about like race relations in America and all that stuff. He's a white guy.
Sure.
A lot of white people look at him and they say, "Oh, he looks like me. Oh, he can rap. Oh, that's cool. I want to pay attention to rap." 40% of the country. And
that's why
so
that's
why it works.
Yeah. Him being this white boy, that's why it absolutely worked. The fact that he has this skill is like, yo, that's why it's going to sustain. You feel what I'm saying? It's like you said, if it was a black guy or whatever, like with this content, it's like, yo, that shit don't make no sense.
Right.
The fact that he's white changed everything.
Yeah.
So he flipped the world on his head. You know what I mean? And he actually can rap. So it's like, yo, it's gonna sustain. You know what I mean? It ain't like a one album or one single type situation. It's like, nah.
So you can quote, like we can sit here and quote Biggie verses all day, right?
Absolutely.
Quote me an Eminem bar. You can't do it.
The only one
you can't do it.
From Renegade on Jay-Z's album.
That's it. That's it. And the only reason people say that Eminem fucked Jay-Z up on that song is because Nas said it on the song. Before that, it wasn't like people was like that was the general consensus. It was just like he was featured on the song. He had a good verse.
Listen, at first listen, if you're not diving into the lyrics, you could say that, and I can dig somebody saying that. But it's like, Jay did not get bodied on that shit.
I don't think he did. I don't think he did.
I think
Nas said it.
I never said that.
But like I said, at first listen to the blind ear, maybe it was a little more entertaining, but it's not. He didn't body Jay-Z at all. Yeah,
so this whole conversation came up because on Monday's show, we were some kind of way a top 5 comes up. The conversation comes up, and I said Eminem's not in the top 5. I said Eminem's not in my top 10. I said I can name 10 rappers that's better than Eminem, and so they was like, "Well, do it." So I named 10 rappers that I said was better than Eminem, and it was like, "Well, don't say Pac or Big." So that was easy. It was easy. It was so easy. You know, and I named 5 rappers from the '90s who I say are better than him, and what I mean, just foundation. You know, Rakim, Karis One. You know, what I mean, people like that who circles around Eminem to me. And so that's how the conversation went. But I just are you a fan of Eminem? Main-ism? He cool, right? And I say he's cool. You know what I mean? He's the best white boy that I've heard.
I like that he can do both. He can go commercial and he can go downtown and spit with some real nice people.
Yeah, but he's I guess he's a backpack kind of rapper. He's a battle rapper. Yeah.
The whole package.
Yeah, I just never was a fan of his subject matter. I don't think he can act. I think he played himself on there.
He's acting. He
just,
He got actors.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, that don't mean you got good actors. That means you got good marketing.
Yeah, we always had this conversation, and now I want to talk some Baltimore shit.
Complete package, yeah. I definitely agree with you there.
Who won the battle between, if you want to call it that, between Remy and Nicki Minaj?
Oh Lord.
If you want to call it a battle, I don't think it's over personally, but
Ain't over.
who won thus far?
I don't know. I entertain on different levels and shit. And
I haven't
ain't choosing a side. I don't really care. For real.
Yeah, I haven't really heard Nicki's stuff. I only heard Ram stuff, and that's only because somebody else was playing it. Because I really don't play into that anymore.
See, Baltimore scene, we don't really have those type of rivalries. I think that is I mean, I remember Boss Man and Mully had something for a short period of time, but in Baltimore, it kind of gotta be addressed kind of quick so it don't get out of hand. Is that what it is?
I don't know. I remember Scar came out with condolences. You remember that?
I remember that.
Artwork and my name and Caddy and Al.
I remember that. How did you feel about that?
It was love. I recorded, what's the name? I gave it to Trelly. He played it on 88.9. I just ain't make it real publicized. But DDM came out, and he got busy. DDM, yeah.
He's nice.
Yeah, DDM raps
Oh,
over
yeah.
on niggas.
Scar ain't say shit. Nothing.
So, whatever. But, shouts out to Scar.
But yeah, definitely. So, I mean, but why is that, do you think? Why don't we have those type of...
Like rivalries,
yeah,
dissing each other.
Yeah.
First on that one, but on that tip, I mean, even if we decided, it's all hip hop, whatever competitive nature. One, some niggas just ain't with that shit, like you just said.
Yeah.
And two, I mean, just my thing is just like, the city's so small. If there was more collaboration or a little more coming together, like I said, you could agree to disagree, especially on the listenability of the record. Everybody don't make the same music, but if it was a little more coming together type shit, it'd be better. I don't want to see nobody hit battle each other. It's like, nigga, I live 10 minutes away. What the fuck? Like, what we battling? Like, I don't know.
Sometimes I be wanting to see dudes say battle each other, but it just be a battle.
Yeah, and it just stay on records. When I started in the 90s, the club labels and the people that was making club music, we had rivalries between each other. And I think that while we didn't diss each other on songs per se, I think that I might hear something that Raw Lee did, and I'm like, oh shit, I gotta go in the studio, and that might motivate me to make something. And then maybe Griffin Bootman might hear something and be like, oh shit, yo got that, and you know what I mean? And that kind of energy, but that fueled, that made the music better. But we didn't like get on records and you know what I mean?
But in that regard,
yeah.
that's a whole nother different outlook on battling.
Yeah.
And that was healthy because it's like, like what y'all did, I think like I remember Music Liberated, going down that bitch every week.
Oh, yeah.
My used to take me down there. I used to buy vinyl. I had some BD 500s, Gemini shits. I remember, like, anyway. That's but it's like, that shit is like, I think the Baltimore club legends, like I said, are underappreciated. And niggas outside of Baltimore take the sound, and that's a whole nother story. It's like, niggas deserve a whole lot more credit, in my opinion. And a whole lot to be talked about a little bit more, too. But
Let's talk about
that's because I think that, and now we get into the meat and potatoes of it. There was a time, and I'm trying to think, maybe DNA was here on Tuesday, and we were talking about how in the 90s, when we would do our sets in the club, we would probably get in like 30 to 45 minutes of hip hop, and then the rest would be club, all night. Might just slip in a little bit of reggae, and then I go back to the club. Now it's probably reversed with a little bit less. Now it's predominantly hip hop, very little, if any, club in Baltimore. In other cities, is depending on where you are, it's a little bit different. But trap is still hip hop. Trap is to me just down south version of hip hop. It's the same.
Mainism in the building, like
Mainism is in the building.
Still got a mic over here.
So now it's different. So now we get more hip hop on than we get anything else, and now we're getting the best and the worst of it. So Maine was talking about New York's sound, and I think that the reason why most hip hop is in a trap type vibe is because that's what's popular. And I don't think there's nothing wrong with it. I think that this started from Master P, Cash Money, 3-6 Mafia, back in the 90s.
Rap a lot, Suave House.
Yeah, they make good songs.
You didn't say that at the time.
I did say that.
I
was a kid, though.
I can say
said
that I was the first person here playing No Limit. argue like heated arguments about this. Yeah, I was first person playing Cash Money here when it wasn't cool.
What the fuck is you playing?
Yeah. Yeah, I was playing that shit early.
But it was distinct as far as the sounds is concerned. I remember back when everybody in my neighborhood was listening to Suave House, Rap a Lot.
Yeah, I played them too.
I was following my brother. We listened to Raucous Records on some old Sound Bomb and the Lyricist Lounge shit like that. I grew into appreciating
that was hot
music, but now like nationwide, niggas are sounding like the South, and that's just the tables turning for like your J Princes, your P's, and everybody ain't want to hear them out. It's like now y'all just recreating the shit that we started. You feel what I'm saying? So the tables just turned, and the South is just like already had a 20-year run.
Yeah, but the chokehold has not left yet.
It's not letting up.
It went to it went to that snap type sound, the Lil Jon sound, and then it's still there. It's still.
I think because it's easy to do.
I don't think it's easy. I think it's a formula. I think we know the formula because we into music, but the formula is not easy to do if you know music. Then you can say, okay, all it is an 808 and this and the clap and you know what I mean, we can do that because we know music. But if you don't know music, you can't just go in and just do it. I don't think.
Yeah. Well, I said, but now I feel like I said, nobody really has their own sound, and just like what Greenspan was talking about the other day, and I've been thinking this for years. Baltimore needs to really take hold of that Baltimore club sound, because I feel like that could be the new wave. To tell you the truth, I really do. I have super confidence in that. Like my next record sounds kind of like a clubhouse situation.
Baltimore, I made my name on Baltimore Club. Like that's what the fuck I do. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is and that's fine. And I go through periods where I'm not motivated, but then I go through periods where I'm motivated to make music. So I mean, I'm working on stuff. But the thing is that we still need other people to understand that. So you still need the DJ. You still need a DJ on board. And me and Maine was talking about this. So DJs don't want to take chances anymore with music. They want to play a song that they don't know how the crowd is going to react to anymore. We used to really take pride in, okay, I'm gonna break this record, or I'm gonna get them to like this record, or you know what I mean, I'm dropping some new shit. They don't want to drop new shit no more. They want to drop shit that people already know and play it safe. We gotta get away from that.
That same shit with press, niggas and blogs and shit like that. Like niggas first question, I've heard this more than once, like through publicists or whatever. Their first question is, what does numbers look like? As opposed to, this shit is dope, let me break them. Let me be the first to post.
Right.
Niggas give you residual posts because I posted it up. It's like, what does numbers look like? It's like, yo, that's not what this is, but that's exactly what this is.
Right. And that's going back to not trying to stand out. So the song, I think that the music sounds the same because nobody wants to take that stand, even from the artist standpoint. But they know that. So now it's just, we know that they're not going to play a different type of record. So I got to make the same record, same tempo. That's just my version of that for them to play it and give it a chance.
And they got to do what you making the music that you like, though. True, but they got to do.
Yeah, but what did he have to do at first? His first album, he had to play the role for a little bit.
Yeah,
and then he started being able to pimp a butterfly and all that kind of stuff.
J. Cole,
but he never did it.
You know, here's what's funny about J. Cole. I used to talk about J. Cole being boring and like it wasn't interesting, right? And then something happened where as though I'm on a trip and it wasn't nothing but J. Cole. I was with a J. Cole fan. Only J. Cole music in the car. So for 8 hours, I listened to every song that J. Cole has had, which gave me an appreciation for him. And then I understood it better. Then I was like, oh, I get it. Like before, I didn't, just on surface, I didn't get it. I was like, this is not exciting. His mood doesn't change. It's like, it's just, but I get it. So I think a lot of music is like that. Like artists that we claim we don't like, if you really listen to it, you probably would get appreciation for it.
They selling more records than the ones that's hot.
J. Cole's not hot?
I'm saying he's going platinum.
Yeah.
But the popular rapper that you think sells go platinum, they not going platinum.
I don't even think that platinum is or record sales is the bar anymore. I think to me it's about the live performance, and the merchandise. I think that the album sales is a part, but now it's so many other things involved in the career.
And single sales.
Single sales.
For instance,
yeah.
when they was when they talked about I don't know when they talked about what was it on Complex, Joe Budden and what's his name, Academics. They was talking to Yachty. They brought up Wale and was like, yo, the first week he was only projected to do like 22,000, something like that. But PYT is platinum.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
right.
What matters more for yo? You know what I mean? So I don't know.
And that single will equate to performances and people wanting to see you do that song. So I think it works out. You make a lot more money on your live show than you do with somebody buying your album.
Sure.
So yeah, so it's and we talking about Yachty. Do you like Yachty?
Yachty got some songs that I appreciate for what it is.
And what is it?
Shit, it's noisy for real, but it's like whatever. Like Bentley Coupe, that's really one of his noisier songs that I heard, but I like it. I don't care, I like it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then Minnesota and shit like that, it's like, yo, it be little tunes or whatever, and it just jam. Like, not something I want to hear all the time. You know
Sure.
what I mean? But I mean, he ain't got too much to say that I really want to hear. You feel what I'm saying? But he got some shit that I like it for what it is.
What you think about Yachty?
I think he's interesting, and I haven't delved into his musical repertoire, so I can't really talk too much about it.
But you know some
but
songs
I like
on the radio.
The other person they compared him to, Uzi Vert. I like some of his stuff. Like, I mean, some of the stuff I heard from him, and I mean,
I like both. I like both artists. I reviewed Yachty's album, and so I listened to it probably 5 times back to back.
Yeah, I've never had
And
the pleasure.
yeah, the pleasure. Yeah, right. Okay, so I gave it 2 out of 5. Right. And he had some songs on there that I thought was cool. But then he had some of, and I said this in the review, some of the worst songs I've ever heard also. Together. So it's just because he kind of does a Soulja Boy flow sometimes, and it's horrible. He misses the beat completely. And then other times when he's on songs with other people, though, like when songs with Migos, then they be decent songs. So I think he rises to whatever the occasion is, the competition level. But if it's just him and one of his boys doing production, fucking horrible. But if he gets a decent producer, then, you know what I mean? So I think he's one of that. But he's also young. So, you know what I'm saying?
He has time to grow.
Yeah. What y'all think about Lil Key? Be more Lil Key.
I'm not too familiar with a bunch of his material. I heard him rap.
Yeah.
And I wish him the best.
From the rap game, yeah, right? From here. Yeah. So he's 14 or 15.
Okay, I gotcha.
And so I put him in that same age group as Yachty because he's a teenager. So hip hop, and I said that Baltimore hip hop is better now than it was in the 90s. That's my opinion. Now, does that mean that the rappers now have more skill? Not necessarily. I think there are more rappers now than there were in the 90s. At least there's more people that's making music that we can hear. Maybe it was dudes around their way we didn't know, but you can get your music out now. People, I've gone in schools and high schools, and kids are like, they listen to this dude, or like we were listening to YBS, Scholar, or whoever, Scooter. They really embrace rappers that are from their city, and that if you go back to 95, 98, 2000, 2002, they didn't do that. They wasn't doing that, and now they do that. Why do y'all think that is?
I think I don't know. It's the listenability. It's one, what they want to hear, and then the listenability of the record. And it's just a different time of receiving music and shit like that, which is spin reelers and all that, and everything just I don't know, the social whatever the fuck.
So it's easier.
Yeah. The availability of it, you know what I'm saying? Like, 'cause I remember when I first started hearing like Baltimore people that was on the radio, like Tip Trees and all that kind of stuff. Like, there's one rapper, Pajama One, who I heard his music, but I had to go out and find him and then hear him rap and then buy his CD. That was the only way I would have got it, because nobody else was playing it around me. It wasn't no internet, to look it up. So it's available now, and you can find somebody that Baltimore hip hop or something, and Google it or whatever, and you can find, oh, this person does this. Let me see what they sound like. Oh, that's cool. I'm gonna tell my friends.
True that. So, and then before the gateway was commercial radio, or a DJ on a mixtape, and if they didn't give it a chance, then you wasn't gonna hear it. the FM radio is not as powerful as it once was. Yeah. Before, I think you knew everybody who was on the radio. You could name the names. This one, this one, this one. Now it's probably people on it you don't even know. You're like, yo, I don't even know. I don't even listen to that. I don't even know. You know what I mean? And commercial radio doesn't have the impact that they used to, because people listen to stuff on their phone. So internet. So we just had the biggest month. The month of May for Radio and Fire was our biggest month yet. So we had 251,000 listeners for the month of May. So that was our biggest month.
I'll take credit for that.
Congratulations.
So, Greenspan, you've been doing music for how long?
Shit. 11, 12 years. 12, 13 years.
How did you get in as a artist like you yourself?
I mean, I just like 2003. I started taking it serious. I recorded a song. I remember I recorded a song over the Mobb Deep beat. The Mobb
Which
Deep
one?
Cool G rap beat, The Realest. And
Okay.
The song was called Eternal Incarceration, and it just came out good. I'm like, oh, we got something here. You feel what I'm saying? And just decided. I didn't release my first project till 2008 called Got Green. But like I said, I think off air, I was watching Brownfish, I was watching Ogun, I was watching Scar, and just studying. And then I just jumped out there. And when I jumped out there, Ooh embraced me. You feel what I'm saying?
Shout out to Ooh.
Yeah, definitely. Ooh forever, and you know
Ooh
that.
forever.
But yeah, I just decided to jump out there when I felt like I might have been ready. And I remember my first performance. I performed down the Yaba Pot when it was down Washington Boulevard. And I remember I was like, man, ain't nobody in this bitch. Cool. First show, I'm about to kill this shit. And before we was friends, I was like I said, I was watching Ogun, and all of a sudden, nigga walk in, it's Ogun. I got nervous. I'll never forget, that was my first shit. But yeah, I just decided to jump out there, and I was blessed. Like when my first tape came out, Got Green, we re-released it in August of 2008 because I got a sponsorship from Scion Car Company, and then I was like, oh, this shit is real. This shit is, you can create opportunities and you can get money out of this rap shit. I ain't stopping. So that was 2008.
And you've been on ever since.
Yeah, and music is in me. You feel what I'm saying? Like people ask about music influences and all that. I first learned music in church. I grew up going to church, and it was like, yo, I really just used to watch and just learn harmonies, melodies, and all that. My brother played the trombone and all that, so I was just about music, period. I just started actually songwriting and rapping and taking that shit serious. I mean, middle school and all that, playing, banging on the table, but like taking it serious in 03, and it's like, oh, we can create songs. Like, I'm good at this a little bit. People appreciate what I got to say, so.
For somebody that's never heard your songs before, how would you describe like what you do?
Expressive, off top. Niggas has asked me that before, like, you conscious, gangster rap. Just expressing myself, yo, for real. So, I don't know, that's the best way to put it. For me, I'm just expressing myself and just being me. I ain't trying to keep up with nobody. I ain't trying to sound like nobody. I try my best not to sound like nobody. So, yeah, it's just expressing myself. I encourage anybody else to do the same.
How did you get into music?
I started when I was in 5th grade. I started playing drums, and I was just a terrible drummer for a long time. And then my senior year in high school, I started playing trombone and getting real serious. Like I got a full scholarship to Morgan State University, and then I started performing professionally around here. I met like cool, great guys like this young gentleman here, and just been performing with people in my city for a while. And then I went on a couple of tours. Well, yeah. Just grinding for a long time and trying to find my footing and place in the industry.
Okay. So we also before I get to that, I want to stay on music. So what do you have out right now?
So currently we pushing a record called Cool or Whatever, featuring my brother Breeze, produced by Mike Jr. But it's on the album called Never Gonna Die. Never Gonna Die was released at the end of last year, so that's a pretty good album, if I do say so myself. So put your ears on it. It's available on every streaming platform possible. So yeah, Never Gonna Die.
So as far as we were talking about independent and labels and 360, like all that kind of stuff. Where do you sit as far as independent versus some type of label partnership?
You can absolutely do it yourself. Like, you can absolutely do it independently, but the whole point is to find your market. Just like any other business, any other product. It's like you can have to work out all day long. If don't nobody know, they ain't gonna buy it. So, you know what I mean? You gotta find, like I said, the market, the people that's interested in it. Be marketing to the wrong people your whole life. You know what I mean? Just never had no success. So that's what that is. I mean, if you can't figure it out and all that, and it's a whole lot of stuff that I haven't figured out. You do what you need to do in terms of partnership. If you're gonna buy your way in, or pay for somebody to market it for you, or sign to somebody if they see promise in your product and they can get some money with you. So either way, I mean, it can work in my opinion. A 360 situation, whatever like that, like Kevin Lyles put it. It's like, yo, we gave you the platform, gave you the opportunity. Why wouldn't we get a piece of that? We deserve a piece, right?
True.
And I can dig it. So,
Yeah, I mean, I think you said that well. It depends on where you sit on the table and how you want to go forward.
It's like Shark Tank. You feel what I'm saying? Like niggas go in that bitch and ask for, I need $250,000 for 5% of my company. Nigga be like, yo, I give you $250,000, but I need 40%. Like, no, that's too much equity. It's like, yo, too many people want to hold on to 100% of zero. And it's like, yo, if somebody about to get you lit, just make sure the deal wasn't too threatening to where as though you don't end up with no bread 10 years from now. But it's like, whatever, deal. Let's go. You know what I mean? Let's get the money. So,
Get your entertainment lawyer set up.
whatever's best for you and your family. For real.
What you feel about that? Independence versus major labels.
Like I said, I think independence is a good way to start. Of course, that's how you're gonna get your buzz anyway for anybody to look at you at all. So I'm trying to follow Chance the Rapper all the way to the promised land. But I think the label situation is good too. I mean, like I said, have your lawyers look through your contracts. You know what I'm saying? Like, stop trying to do everything by yourself. You can't record yourself and perform everything by yourself. No DJ, no band. You gotta have people on your team. You can't just do everything by yourself. Read all the contracts by yourself. Do everything by you can't do it. You need a team. So whether if your team is Def Jam or your team is independent label or you're doing everything solely by I guess yourself with your own entity, you still need a team on every single one of those levels.
Agreed. I agree with that. I definitely think you can do it yourself in this day and age. If you have you gotta have a team. You can definitely do it yourself because you can go direct to consumer now. And before we needed the record store or the record company as the middleman. Other than that, it was no way to reach the buying public. Now you can reach the buying public through social media, through websites, all that kind of stuff. You can reach them, and they can feel a closer connection with you because of social media. So how active are you on social media, Greenspan?
Not active enough. I always get that. Like, yo, you got to post every day. They busy. I'm an artist, an entrepreneur. You feel what I'm saying? I got shit to do. So, I know I'm not active enough on social media, but, there's a lot of stuff I got to do by myself, so I got to sleep at some point.
Yeah, true that. How about you? How active are you?
I'm super active on, like, Instagram and stuff like that. That's the platform I'm on most of the time, so, I'm talk to a lot of my fans through there. On Facebook, I'm pretty active there because I feel like that's where my Baltimore base of people are. Mm-hmm. So that's where I get people to come out to shows. That's where there's people that I know that I see all the time on there. Like on Instagram, it's people from all over the world, really. But yeah, I'm pretty active on social media.
All right, so
cold in here now.
Huh?
I'm cold now, man.
We cold. Get a shot of that 1800. We've been talking about that 1800 for a minute.
Okay, so people that know me know I really like it to be cool. I call it cool, but y'all call it cold because it's hot outside, mm-hmm. and right. so the air in here is y'all should come here in the wintertime.
Oh, sounds like a bad idea already. Like it's a setup.
But no. So but on social media it's Greenspan 410.
Greenspan 410 everywhere.
And the website is gogreenspan.com.
Gogreenspan.com and nevergonadie.com for the album. If you know what I mean, nevergonadie.com take you straight to the album. What's your social media?
On Instagram is 4TAE_IG. That's the number 4TAE _IG. And on Facebook it's just 4TAE, so you can just do 4TAE. And I'm also 4TAE on Twitter. So yeah, check me out there too.
So I also want to talk about food desert.
Yes, sir.
Like for people that don't know, what is a food desert?
All right, the food desert is underserved community. So basically, the hood, underserved community that doesn't have the direct access to the fresh fruits and fresh vegetables. You feel what I'm saying? There's a lot of our communities that they rely on the corner store, and their nourishment is chips and shit. You feel what I'm saying? Soda. Niggas ain't got no water. Niggas ain't got no kale. No, you know what I mean? So the stuff that you actually need to be healthy. So I have a food awareness initiative and small business now called No Food Deserts. I sell these hats, No Food Desert on the dad hat. You feel what I'm saying? It's a conversation starting piece and an awareness building piece. And yeah, No Food Deserts on IG, and nofooddeserts.com is the website. Desert has one S, not two. Some people approach me like, I remember I was in Whole Foods one time, lady behind the deli counter like, no food desserts? Why, sweetie? You don't like dessert? I say, no, ma'am, there's no food deserts. Oh, you was in the army? No, ma'am, not there's a storm, food desert. And just, you know, that quick. And that's good. Sometimes it's frustrating, like, yo, it doesn't say dessert. Why would I have that on my hat? But it's like, at the same time, it's the whole point of the hat, to start the conversation and have that opportunity to educate. And it's cool because, like I said earlier, a lot of people are doing the work here in Baltimore in particular right now. And not just Baltimore. A lot of people just got a lot of things going on, opening up their own, like, produce markets and stuff like that, or their urban farms and all that. Just trying to feed the people, like, you know what I mean? It's all about love, for real. Just feeding the people and giving them what they need. Soda and wrap snacks is not going to keep you going. You feel what I'm saying? Stay away from that soda. You know?
Some people think that,
You
yeah.
gotta start juicing, beloved. You gotta start juicing and drink some water. You know what I mean?
Preach, man. You preaching over here.
You gotta take care of yourself, especially black folk.
Alkaline
So
water.
I got diabetes on both sides of my family. I need to eat right. You know what I mean? So it's like,
Everybody doesn't know that.
that's the whole point of the initiative. NoFoodDeserts.com.
That's real. And so some of these numbers on here, I didn't realize that it was like that. So you say over 30% of the households have no vehicle available.
And that's based on stats from the Department of Planning and Department of Sustainability here in Baltimore City. They actually pulled me in for a meeting. They was like, yo, we see your hats around. Let's talk. I'm like, yo, that's love. So, and they urged me to keep, when it comes to defining food deserts, if I lined up with, like, their definition, if you will, versus USDA's definition. According to USDA's definition, Baltimore don't have no food deserts. Because it's talking about, like, yo, the access to the fresh foods and all that is within a mile. Shouldn't nobody have to walk a mile? In the event they don't have a vehicle, shouldn't nobody have to walk a mile to feed their family? That's bullshit. So Baltimore City's definition is the access is within a quarter mile, and so on and so forth. But yeah, a whole lot of people, you know what I mean, the income level is low, don't have no wheels. You feel what I'm saying? So if they walk down to the liquor store or whatever, they got in that bitch, some peanuts and chips.
Wrap
You know
snacks.
what I mean? And beef jerky or whatever, if that, you feel me? So, yeah, no food deserts. We're trying to feed the people.
Yep. And so it also says that the median household income is at or below 185% of the federal poverty level.
According to the stats.
According to the stats.
Yeah.
You know, some people don't have money like that. So, and I think that that's the challenge, is that a lot of times eating healthy can be more expensive. Is that one of the things that they may say is a challenge?
Well, that's possible, but that's the thing. Like, for instance, you got groups like Hungry Harvest, like they do, I think, Produce and a SNAP program, where they go around to, like, schools in these areas, and they sell a bag of produce, $20 worth for $7, and you can swipe your EBT. You feel what I'm saying? So, that's all. And unfortunately, it's like, if you're in an area that don't have nothing, that doesn't know anything about eating healthy, that might have to come with some consumer education. You feel what I'm saying? I've talked to people that's like, yo, I had this program trying to feed the people fresh produce, and it ain't work out in this particular area. And it's like, look, they just didn't want the program. And it's like,
Right.
Why don't they want it? You feel what I'm saying? So you can always point at something and like, yo, that's a problem. I want to come fix it. It's like, no, go into the community and ask them what their problem is. You feel what I'm saying? But yeah, that's all. We're just trying to change people's minds and change people's life so they can eat healthy.
So they can get more info on that, nofooddeserts.com.
NoFoodDeserts.com, yes sir.
Yeah, that's what's
No
up.
Food Deserts on IG.
So that's not just for here. You're saying this is everywhere in the city.
That's for everywhere. I mean, that's like I said, it starts here. The hats are made in Baltimore. You feel what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's just my initiative. But the online store, you can You can buy a hat. We'll ship it to South Korea if you want. You feel what I'm saying? We ship worldwide.
And where did this come from for you? The whole movement.
So a couple things. One, the statement in the hats. Me and my lady was talking one day, and I'm like, I'm gonna put that on a hat, and it became a small business based on the response from the people. But I remember a minute ago, I'm a part of a film collective, and I wanted to work on a documentary called Feed, because the energy behind it was like, yo, I've done audiovisual work in a bunch of convention centers and hotels around the region, and you see, like, at the end of a conference or whatever, like, a bunch of people may not have shown up. They might have 10, 20 plates, filet mignon, vegetables, whatever. Don't even let the employees take it home. Just boom, trash that shit.
That's true.
And it's like crazy. I used to work down at the Hyatt downtown. I used to see that shit often. When you step right outside, there's a nigga asking for 50 cents. It's like, yo, you couldn't get this nigga a piece of chicken, potatoes? You trash that shit. Like, nah. And you know what I mean? And my thoughts are like, I understand liability. Like, yo, if I give this to a shelter and somebody gets sick, now it's on me for giving it to them. Me and my whole organization can catch a lawsuit. I dig that, but
is that what they said?
No, I mean, certain things they talk around it, but if you think about it, you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, yo,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's just, you gotta think about the details. There's a lot of stuff, like, shit just ain't that cut and dry. You know what I mean? It's details within that. So it's like, if there could be a third party that retrieved the food and took on that responsibility in some kind of way, like, that'd be awesome. And I know it's a lot of people out here doing the work and actually, feeding the people. But it's a lot more people that need to be fed. You feel what I'm saying? You ride up in that MLK or whatever and see homelessness, hunger, all that shit. Shit break my heart. You can't help everybody. One man can't help everybody. So whatever. We just doing this just a tip of the iceberg. Just starting the conversation and building the awareness right now.
Absolutely, it's good. It's a good thing, and everything you said, 100% agree with. Yeah. Before we get out of here, I'll give y'all the last word. Anything you want to say?
Oh, well, came up here. First, I want to shout out Tastemaker Tuesdays.
Absolutely.
We had it on. It's first Tuesdays every month, and we had a great crowd. We had great people. This guy did a listening session, and everybody came out and really supported with For Rent Shoes, FRSB more on IG, FRSBaltimore.com. So check out For Rent Shoes. And I just wanted to. I had this event to put another platform for great artists, indie artists, Baltimore artists, DMV artists, to be able to come and have their music celebrated and be viewed in another light. So that's why I put that together. So shout out to Greenspan. It was definitely a cooler whatever party.
That's what's up. So are y'all doing July 4th?
Yep, once a month. So we're gonna be right back there on 4th of July, working it out. That's gonna be a party. I can't say who the artist is gonna be just yet.
Okay.
Hopefully we'll have him up here.
Let me know. Yeah, definitely do that. And again, go greenspan.com.
Yeah.
Greenspan 410.
Greenspan 410, Social Cool or whatever is a single we pushing right now. Never Gonna Die is the album. Check it out. You know what I mean? Put your ears on it. You can't not fuck with me if you haven't listened to the music. So, you know what I mean? Listen to it, then you.
You feel?
Yeah.
You gotta give it a chance. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
all right, definitely. Thank y'all for coming through here. We're going to take a break and we're going to come back. And hopefully it won't be as cold when we come back. 'Cause we